Our discussion tonight, counties in limbo. This is what you're saying. 22422 is the SMS line and the hashtag is Newsnight. Let's put them up now. These are your thoughts. Okay. Omwando Vickery says some of the county governments don't need any funding owing to the zero value for money. Governors should pay the pending bills. Kenyans have had their property auctioned because of delayed payments. Okay. Let's take a look at another one, still from Twitter. This one from, let's see who that is. Wow, Ojiambo Ronald 1. There'll be no change in our county's leadership if we elect governors based on the support they give our top leaders rather than their capabilities to manage and run our counties effectively. Bado wataiba tu ndio warudishe pesa zao za campaign. Okay, that's a concern there from Ojiambo. And we have one last one that we wanted to put up on the screen. Okay. We seem to have a problem with that. We still have the chairperson of the Council of Governors live from Kisumu with us. I trust he can still hear me. I have one last question for him, a question that actually has been asked by a viewer. Chair, if you can hear me, some are concerned about... Okay, I'm told we have a problem getting him in. So let me again go back to former Governor William Kabogo, who's still here with us in studio, and Advocate Kanjama. Kabogo, your thoughts on the way forward? We know that someone like Senator Ledama Olekina has actually moved to court to seek for clarity on when and how Deputy Governor should step into office. What's your response to that? What are your thoughts on that?
Really, we have the Council of Governors in place, Wahiga. Mm-hmm. I would say they are not doing enough because they foresaw these things coming. And once the Council of Governors and then the summit should be able to deal with these things. But you can see now they are calling the summit on a crisis, for a crisis meeting. So I believe if they had put their heads together early enough, they would have come up with recommendations. They would have gone to the Supreme Court for an advisory, or decided as a council on the steps that the nation should take.
Is it in the best interests of governors to make it as transparent as possible on how a deputy governor takes over, in your view?
It is in the interest of the country, not the governors.
But again,
it is in the interest of smooth running of county affairs. Remember that counties are not governors. Counties are there to give services to the people. Mm-hmm. So if they cannot give services, efficiently, then it means Mwananchi is going to suffer.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. What I'm asking you is, as someone who sat as a governor, yes, do you think it is priority for them to figure out how deputy governors would take over?
It is priority.
How do you incentivize them more?
The law envisages a situation where the president is incapacitated to run the country. Mm-hmm. And they say the deputy president will take over for the remainder of the term. So that is very clear from our constitution. It is also clear that the deputy governor takes over in the event that the governor is incapacitated to run the affairs of the county. So really, is it good that we can hang out 2-3 years without a deputy governor? In the event of the governor having a problem, say sick or death, touch wood, what would happen to that county? Okay. So really, the experience of Nairobi is going to be able to tell the governors probably on the way forward.
On the way forward.
Yes, but we should be human and be able to deal with these issues. Because if we say the CECs will appoint one of themselves, how will that be? It will be anchored in what law? Because really any action that they will take is subject to being challenged if it is not going to be anchored in any law. And some are arguing that Section 187, and the lawyer should tell us, where it's envisaged that either side of government, national or county, may negotiate for functions that they feel they cannot do and lend that function with its resources to the other side of government. That would mean that the apex body, which is the committee chaired by the governor or the deputy governor, has to negotiate with the national government to hand over these functions.
Okay.
Others are saying the president would take over.
Yes.
How, under what law would the president take over?
Okay, and we had a bit of that actually in the story that we did. Advocate, I can allow you to come in as well on this, just give us some clarity in terms of what the law actually says.
The law doesn't contemplate permanent absence of a governor, not even Article 179 that has been relied upon in some court decisions. And yet we know that a typical anti-corruption prosecution may take 1 or 2 years. So I think the Constitution, even if you stretch it, did not contemplate a governor failing to act for 2 years as a case is going on in court, and then you have the appellate process. I think they still need, this is my personal considered view, they still need to test the rulings of Justice Mumbi Ngugi and her fellow judge in the Court of Appeal on the question of whether a governor should automatically step aside once they are charged with a criminal offense. My own thinking, after studying the architecture of the Constitution, is that it was not the intention of the people of Kenya to give the DPP, who is an officer under the executive structure of the national government, the power through exercise of his independent decision to charge or not to charge a governor to change the leadership of the county. The structures that exist to remove governors involve the county assembly and the Senate through the process of impeachment, both under the Constitution and the County Government Act, Section 33. So I think this other system, which seems to be very attractive to the popular eye, wow, this is a way of getting rid of governors, has numerous pitfalls, and it requires to be tested against that idea of different arms of government, because at the county level you have two arms of government, the executive and the legislature, that is the county assembly and the county executive committee, and whether one should enter into the functions of the other, and the judiciary, which is at national level but deals with matters of national and county government.
Okay, thank you, Advocate.
The only problem
given us quite briefly, please, Honorable Kabogo.
Yes, the only problem that approach would bring is that now you have left again the governors on the mercy of the MCAs. If they were to deal with these matters, for example, investigations have been done by the DPP. He finds that probably there is a prima facie case, or there is a case for the governor to answer, but he decides to hold his horses to wait for the county assembly to deal with the issue. Then you will find cases of the Wambora type, where Wambora was probably, there was an attempt, 3 or 4, to impeach him. So really, it's a case of balancing issues.
And lots of
again,
pitfalls.
Do we want to shield the governors from responsibility? Again, do we want to stop trying them? Again, do we want to try governors when they are very heavy and weighty issues? So really, these are very serious issues that the country needs to discuss.
Lots of questions I see, and pitfalls as well, whichever way you look at it. Let me bring in the Council of Governors Chairperson, Wycliffe Oparanya, for a final word from him. You've heard what has been said here in studio. You are requesting for an emergency summit with the President to talk a little bit about the situation in Nairobi. What would you want to talk to the President about, or specifically in regards to what we are seeing in Nairobi right now?
You see, Nairobi, as I said, is a unique case. It is a unique case because there is no deputy governor. If there was a deputy governor, then there would have been no problem.
So are you taking...
He would have acted in case...
I'm asking, are you taking solutions to the President as the Council of Governors, or was it more of an open-ended request?
No, you know, there is a provision that that provides for the national government to intervene in such a case. And of course, if there is that intervention, then there must be a consensus and discussion on this particular issue. And that's why we were saying this is a problem that cannot be solved at the Council of Governors. It will need actually the involvement of the national government. But if there was a deputy, then there was no need of any intervention from any quarters. And that's why we were saying in good faith that this is an issue that we need some discussion.
Okay, thank you so much. That's Wycliffe Oparanya, Chair, Council of Governors, and Governor Kakamega County, live for us from Kisumu County. Whilst here in studio, we have had former Governor William Kabogo also weighing in on this. He sat on that seat. He knows the nuances around it. And of course, to help us understand a bit about the law has been Advocate Charles Kanjama joining us on Newsnight tonight. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. We take